Hi everybody, happy Sunday. I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are safe and that you are well. I think this is going to become the new greeting, at least for the next couple of weeks, until we know that things are a little better around the world. So, as you might see, I'm not in the studio. That is because the whole Transport Evolved team is now working from home. And while that's made me think about, do I really need an office to work in? The realization that I've turned my living room into a makeshift shooting studio, I think kind of proves the point that if I was to work from home full time, I'd have to have a dedicated room, and that would take up a substantial part of the house. So, and you know, cars would go by while you're filming outside, like this one. And while I'm lucky that I can work from home, it has got me thinking about global emissions and solutions to our current climate issues that we're currently going through. You know, global emissions are on the rise, and we do have to work really hard to hit even the worst case scenario targets. It looks like we're probably not going to hit those. But this week, for reasons that I can't discuss, as obviously, if you watch this channel, you'll know that we've had loads of things demonetized this week. For the reasons that everybody is currently socially isolating and working from home, you know, I think a lot of people have realized that they can work from home and perhaps they should work from home. And it's kind of got me to the point of, have we had to undergo what is essentially a massive global problem? And have we had to endure that? And in some cases, you know, the fact that we must work from home in order to keep our families and ourselves safe, to realize that maybe a lot of us don't need to go to work anymore to actually physically work in a location outside of home. Now, I am fortunate, other than the cars going past, I'm fortunate. I live in the country, right? So I've got 1/3 of an acre in the countryside. I have a lovely house. I have a good internet connection. It's a very expensive internet connection. Less than the rent that we're spending on the studio, which is an interesting thing because I've now got to decide, okay, do I keep the studio and continue to rent that, or do I just spend the money that I would have spent on my rent on a really stonkingly good internet connection? Because we don't have cable here, obviously being in the country. We have ADSL, which is really terrible, but we do have wireless internet down the valley to a local ISP who's generally pretty good. In fact, they've only ever stopped working once, and that was today, Friday, the day I'm filming this. Because there's so many people working from home. But I'm digressing. I guess what I'm saying is I'm fortunate I can work from home. My partner is also able to work from home. She works for a large company, but she's in a job which is office-based. So she's been able to do teleconferencing and working from home. And yes, we had to spend extra money to beef up our internet connection so we could both work, especially with me uploading videos. But we've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to do that. And I think that a lot of people will see this week and maybe the next month that they can work from home, and maybe this is what we should all be doing to help solve our climate problems. And I guess that's where I'm coming from with this video today. Is this the shock that we all need? Is this what we're doing now? The whole self-isolating and working from home, those of us who can. Is this how we solve the upcoming global crisis? Not by buying electric cars, but by actually not going anywhere, working from home, trying to plan our trips so that we do all of our errands in one go. Surely that is actually going to help us, flying less. I mean, if you've watched the cost of plane tickets just plummet because airlines are not flying people anywhere, kind of makes you realize that maybe there are better ways of conducting ourselves. And yeah, wouldn't it be great if we all had holographic presence technology, or the ability to just teleport to where we need to be? Maybe in the future that will happen. You know, in the world of Star Trek, there's another car. It gives us a chance to examine how we actually interact with the world and how the world interacts with us. And I think in examining this, in trying to undergo what is essentially for a lot of people a forced situation, because our bosses are saying you must work from home, or if we are a boss like I am, saying to our employees, okay, I don't want to see you in the office, go home, work from home. It suddenly realizes that maybe we don't need to spend 2, 3, 4 hours a day in our cars driving somewhere. For a really long time, we've been just staring at it and it's right there in front of us. And if we only just worked from home more often, those of us who can, I acknowledge that a lot of us can't. If we actually all worked, those of us who can work from home, maybe that would be enough. Maybe that would actually help us lower our emissions to a point where we don't have to drive to work every day. And I'm standing here talking to you. This road is generally pretty quiet. But at this time on a Friday evening, it's pretty busy because people are coming home from work. And there's, maybe been a half dozen cars go up while I've been filming. Can you imagine that being like that all the time? Can you imagine not even having cars, just people working from home? We have the technology. Shouldn't we be using it? That's it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You can send us a coffee through Ko-fi. And you can support us through Patreon. And if you are someone who is worried about supporting us through Patreon because you're worried about your loss of income, I totally understand. We face uncertain times. We're looking at a global recession, This is going to be a new normal for all of us. So we're all going to just have to club together and do what we can. And if that means you can't support us on Patreon, then I totally understand. Just watch the video and spread the love. If you watched 10 yesterday, you'll know that we're not supporting our t-shirt provider anymore because they had a problem with us having a t-shirt that had a Chevrolet Bolt on it, and we said Chevrolet Bolt in the description, and it was a t-shirt that Erin made. We weren't copywriting anything apart from the name, and the t-shirt company said, yeah, you can't use that name, it's copyrighted. So yeah, we'll switch our merch store. So if you know of any good merch stores, let us know. Until next week though, or until tomorrow, and we'll be putting up more content as best we can in the current situation. Don't forget to be nicer and kinder to one another. Stay safe, make sure you wash your hands. And as always, keep evolving.